What's up, Janelle?
Hey, Bronzy.
It's good to see you.
I know, it's good to see you too. Why did you say it like that?
Because it feels like it's been a minute. Yeah, that's it. That's why I feel like we haven't connected in a while, and like we're really connecting in real time as we're recording the podcast, which is great. So my expression is true.
Well, yes, it is good to see you too. It has been a while. We've gone longer, but it has.
I think it's always harder when it's like the intent is not for it to have been a while. Like we didn't come into it. It was just a matter of like scheduling and that. But like other times when it's like, okay, it's a break and we kind of know it. But yeah, either way, it's still good to see you.
Good to see you too.
We have Amadi sitting in on this episode. Say hi to the people.
Hi to the people.
Oh my God. Many of you all may know Amadi or have heard his name in some of the episodes as he produces the shows and what you see like online with the graphics for the video portion of the podcast. That's all him doing the video and editing and just the vision for that part. So today he's here and he got the mic. We're going to give him an opportunity to speak his piece when he feels led.
Yeah, just on a couple things, but very happy to be on the episode this week. It's just weird doing it from this perspective, but here we are.
You also don't gotta sound all like it's like no, I'm playing. But yeah, I mean, dope artist, dope photographer, and friend of the show. I mean, you know, curator of the show. He's right. He's in it with us.
Part of the show.
Part of the show.
He is the show.
He is the show. Okay. When you see Witcha Black Ads, you see Prince Amadi. All right, Janelle. So, we got a couple of things to get into this week with Above the Fold. Are y'all ready to jump in?
Ready.
Yes, let's do it.
Take it away, Janelle.
Right. So, we've been talking a lot about Anthony Edwards and his partnership with Adidas as of late. Like, I don't think anyone would say that they're like not killing it right now. You know what I mean? And recently, I don't know if it was before Minnesota was eliminated or right after, they dropped a new spot, and it was basically the theme of it was like reading receipts that people, or reading things that people have been saying online and just kind of like questioning Anthony Edwards, his, greatness or his just like space in the conversation of like being the face of the NBA. It was a short spot, but it was very pointed and just, I think, like a really, really good addition to what they've been doing. So they had him just shooting around, and then whoever the character is, like that's his friend in the spots, kind of reading the receipts and him responding to them. So I thought it was really good too, because usually brands shy away from like speaking about certain people or what certain people have said, or, getting very specific and calling people out. Like, that's like, oh, you don't do that. And they just kind of went all in. Like, they mentioned Carmelo Anthony and something he had said. And I don't remember what Anthony Edwards' response was, but then they got to Cameron and something he said. He was like, fuck buddy. I'm like, wait a minute, Adidas. Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know. I loved it though. Like, I don't know.
I did too.
I don't know how that decision was made, but it was so good. I like that. I like that they were like, let's stand in it and let's like face it head on. And just like you said it, like, so if you have a grievance,
let's address it. Bless you.
Thank you.
Do you think that number one, I think that Adidas is able to do this only with specific people, and Anthony Edwards just happens to be like the perfect person to do this. I think we talked a lot about just like the personality of athletes and just like, you know what I mean? Like leaning into their personality and like what they would naturally and authentically do and say. That's number one. Number two, I also think from Adidas standpoint, they are, while they may be like killing it right now, I don't know what the numbers are looking like or whatever, but like they're operating from the space of a challenger brand. You know what I mean? So they're kind of like, they're trying to like fight their way out the corner. And so it's just like, oh, let's just put up the shot and see like what's the worst that can happen.
Can you explain what a challenger brand is?
So a challenger brand is basically the brand that isn't like seen as being on the top, right? So in the space of the world we're talking about, Nike is kind of like the pinnacle, right? And any other brand that's chasing them is challenging them is the challenger brand. So whereas Nike may not take as many risks because it's like we already on the top, challenger brands are trying to like inch away at that market share and all of that kind of stuff. So they're more willing and like kind of have to take more risks because you can't play it safe and gain market share and gain fans. And
you got to make some noise.
It just, exactly. So I think that having a personality like Anthony Edwards paired with Adidas's kind of space within this the role as a challenger brand just makes the perfect storm to put out a spot like this.
I agree. The question for me is what happens next?
What happens next in terms of what they do or what people say? Because I think we've already seen the latter.
Yeah, I was going to say what they do. I mean, I love... And I mean, maybe that doesn't matter as much because it is all about putting out the spot and then having the reaction because that's, if nothing else, is bringing the awareness to your brand for the conversation or for a conversation to be around your brand. Hence exactly what it is that we're doing. And many other people are doing online and on various platforms. So yeah, maybe that doesn't matter as much. But yeah, I'm always wondering like, does taking a risk on a spot like this in reality, what does Anthony Edwards do like for his career or next season? But I also think spots like this are more, they can serve a purpose both short term and long term.
Yeah. I mean, I think from a long term perspective, right, this kind of talk and this kind of like confidence only really works when you're winning.
Yeah.
Right. There's but so much. You can't like, you can't be consistently losing. Let's put it that way. Consistently losing and putting out spots like this. You know what I mean? It's just like, eventually people are gonna be like, all right, can't fabricate. You have to sit down.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think for the moment though, I think it's fine and it's working. You know, they got, Minnesota got really far into the playoffs. They're a relatively young team, right? Yeah, your star player is 22 years old, 23 maybe?
Yeah, they're young.
Years old. Chances are we're going to see them again next year and probably making a run. So even though they got knocked out, I still believe the sentiment. You know what I mean? And like, can get behind the messaging of this spot.
Yeah. I agree.
I like how you said I like how you said you can't be like losing and putting out spots like this. It's like in track and field, like you can't be wearing sunglasses and high socks and be losing every race.
Exactly.
You can't do that.
Exactly.
Y'all in these glasses and high socks. That means you was a beast. No, you had to come out there
so
doing
that's
something.
The thing though. But yeah, back in my day when you would line up next to somebody and they had on some sunglasses and like the whole relay team had on the same socks and you were like, damn, I'm about to get my ass smoked, right?
Word.
And then when you come out and they like, and you smoke them or they come in dead last and you like, girl, if you don't put them socks away.
This false advertisement.
You tried it.
Oh
Almost got in my head.
Right.
Maybe that's the point. But yeah.
Right. But did you see Cameron's response to this spot?
Yes. And this is where it gets juicy.
Right, but it gets juicy, but it's still not bad. Like this is still good for Adidas, I think.
Oh, interesting.
It keeps them in the conversation. Number one.
Okay, Cameron, but I mean, it keeps them in the conversation, but that's not always enough.
True.
But yeah, I don't think there's no. Yeah, you're right. I don't think there's any brand damage happening from this response.
Exactly.
Did you see?
Yeah.
You haven't seen it.
But basically, he got on his show with Mace. What is it called? I want to say it is what it is, but maybe I could be making that up. But basically, he had a freestyle where he addressed.
It is what
he addressed it. And then during the segment, like when they're talking, he brought it up and he started mentioning all the former athletes who had been injured wearing Adidas,
yes.
and that he was going to fund a documentary about them and all this kind of stuff, which like he's not
right.
But yeah, it was a cute little moment.
Yeah, it was a cute response. But that was dead wrong for them because you can do that. Literally, you can do that with any athletic brand. Go through all the clips of their players getting injured wearing their brand. Like, that's not Adidas' fault.
Yeah.
So to like try to build that narrative, it is a reach. But yeah, cute response.
Yeah.
Cute response.
Like, let's be real. Like, he was flattered.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was nothing less than a cute response. Like, okay, you had to say something. People were going to be curious of what you said. Like, it worked. It worked in many different ways, but it was cute because it's not really defending your point or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody say cute response.
Cute response.
Cute response.
Thank you.
Is this your way of saying that's going to be the name of the episode? Okay, got it. Cute response.
Oh, God.
Well, staying on kind of sportswear brands, it was also announced either last week or the week before a collaboration between Under Armour and Balenciaga.
Oh, God.
Did you see that? Did you see any of the pieces? How are you feeling about that?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't feel strongly on one way or another. I really don't. I do think it bears questioning. Why? I don't think it makes sense. I'm like, who called who and said, let's collaborate? And where did they find the through line or the story to do so? That's where I'm confused. Under Armour. Who's Steph Curry? When I think of Under Armour, I think Steph Curry. He's with them, right?
Yeah, he is.
When I think about Under Armour, I feel like I don't think about them. When I think about Under Armour, I don't think about Under Armour.
You don't think of Under Armour? Me either.
I'll say I don't ever think about Under Armour. Literally, I feel like if I'm going to buy like some sort of athletic wear, Under Armour does not even come up on my radar. And I think what I'm trying to say here is y'all need to figure out your space first before you start trying to go to these luxury brands and finesse some sort of collaboration. Also, are we supposed to wear Balenciaga, Under Armour to the gym? Like, what are you selling me? I'm confused. That's what I think I'm trying to say. I'm confused.
Right. Like, who is wearing those boots to the gym? I mean, I would wear those boots if I was going out, like, for a cute night or whatever.
That was second thought.
He is into fashion.
If you split your eye and turn your head like this, I could kind of finesse those boots.
Yeah, they could be finessed a little bit. But, I mean, I think you're right. But in some ways, I mean, I guess just as an athlete, when I think about Under Armour, I do kind of think about black, skin tight wear. And when I think about that, I think about Kim Kardashian and Kanye West and them wearing like Balenciaga and making like that all black silhouette, like synonymous like with that brand. Yeah. So
I don't know. I mean, I think, honestly, to your point, like I very rarely think of Under Armour. Like, I don't know what the brand stands for. I don't know, maybe outside of football, right? Like, I don't know much about the brand and just like in a lifestyle space, the role that it plays. From Balenciaga's standpoint, we know that like over the past however many months, they've been going through a lot of scandals and all this kind of stuff. Like they're still trying to like build back their reputation.
Yes, for sure. Them kids, that situation still got me shook.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. And so yeah, to your point, who called who and what was the conversation? Like who was like, oh yeah, we need each other. Yeah, and then looking at the pieces themselves, I'm like, well, where are you even going in that to begin with? Like, I don't know. I'm confused. And I don't want to be like, because I thought about it like, okay, other sportswear brands partner with luxury fashion houses all the time. You got Adidas with Wells Bonner. You got Nike with Jack Moose and Martine Rose and, you know, the list continues. Whatever, everybody. But else. I know what their role is in culture for it to make sense for them to partner with these brands. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like, again, I don't know. I haven't seen enough storytelling or just kind of like brand building from Under Armour to believe this collaboration.
That's that. I mean, that's literally how I feel. Summed up. Like, yeah, I have no more words. Who called who, and what was that conversation? That is the question I have. If nothing else, maybe it was to try to start somebody say something, some sort of conversation. So they was like, you know what? We just need people talking about us. I don't know if this is gonna make sense. Maybe it won't, but maybe that's what they'll say.
Yeah.
But they're like, we've worked in this space long enough to know that there was some sort of conversation and somebody thought there was a strategy here. And I want to know what that was. Like, they just didn't pull the trigger and they didn't formulate something.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I guess we'll never know.
Well, we probably won't. And that's fine.
Yeah, gotta be.
That I'm okay with that. Did you see the new Gatorade spot? It's a new Gatorade spot that kind of like leans into the old, some old spots as well. So it's they brought back the tagline, "Is it in you?" It's narrated by Michael Jordan, and it's showing all of, you know, these current athletes competing and sweating and
Gatorade.
Sweating
Gatorade
out of their pores. Very, yeah. And I'm like, I'm trying to remember the old spots that they did the same thing, right? Like they were sweating Gatorade colors and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know, it just looks so like AI generated. Like obviously it is, because you're not really sweating orange and purple and blue, and if you are, might need to see the doctor ASAP. But it just didn't look. I don't know. Every time I watched it, I was just like, "Oh, this looks like AI, like bad AI," you know. And then especially the end when they have like a younger version of Michael Jordan say the last line, and it looked bad, like a bad fake deep. Yeah.
I was fine with the AI sweat. I'm fine with it all.
Yeah.
The end, I don't know. I want to say I'm fine with it. I do see what you're saying though, now that you say it, but that wasn't my first thought.
Shout out to Marcus Smith, who's the photographer on that though. I thought he did a pretty good job. Like, I don't know.
He did the stills.
I mean, he kind of did all of them, right? Because these were from different. Or they had. That's a different campaign. I don't know what's going
on. So yeah, I think maybe two people did this at the same time, but Marcus Smith, who I said he did photograph Asia Wilson, like Jason Tatum, Sydney McLaughlin, for Gatorade, like in this same style with the Gatorade like coming out of their pores. So, and then he included like some other shots, I guess, like from the shoot as well, which just turned out really, really cool. So I thought it was pretty cool. I liked it.
Trying to find like the old Is It In You? Yeah, I mean, I guess, it's very reminiscent.
You found them?
If not exactly the same. Yeah, some of them I see like a Vince Carter one and a Mia Hamm one. Yeah. How do you feel about brand? Because this is now maybe like the second or third brand that I've seen bring back like an old spot recently. I think Sprite did it as well with Anthony Edwards and Grant Hill. It was like the Obey Your Thirst campaign. What are your thoughts on brands bringing back legacy campaigns like that?
I like them. I feel like when they ran, I think it's like with all things though, but when they ran the first time, it was such a moment. I feel like you have to be really prescriptive when you do bring back such a huge campaign. Like, Is It In You? I feel like that was pretty big, where like you saw it everywhere. You saw it, back then billboards were huge and stuff like that, but you saw it on the actual Gatorade bottle. You saw it at TV spots. I mean, I guess now media dollars go to social. Hence, this is where we've seen this. So I don't know, like all they're doing. But to answer your question, I don't have an issue with it. I think it's just like anything else they be bringing back now for nostalgic sake. And like, they know who their audience is and who grew up with them at that time, or who have grown with the brand. It's just like television shows, or like we are seeing fashion. We just talked about which shoes were those Nike just re-released from like 90? Well, Nike does that all the time. But yeah, it's kind of like the same sentiment I think that we see across the board in so many different spaces. How you feel?
I don't know. I think I get what you're saying, but I also like, I'm not a huge fan of like the reboots of these movies and these TV shows and the like cheap sampling, like, sampling only 90s hits and this music and all that kind of stuff. It kind of is starting to lean that way. Like the more and more I see it, like unless you're going to put a really fun new twist on it. Yeah. Like I don't really want to see.
Do you feel like it's lazy
campaign all over again? It is. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like what I was debating. I'm like, is it lazy? I mean, yeah. I mean, there's no legwork. It's like, oh, pull it. Let's do it again.
And I just don't know that, to your point. Well, I was going to say like, okay, how we were consuming media back then is not how we consume media back now. How we consume media now. And so like, does it still even translate when you're talking 20, 25 years?
Yeah.
Between the two, but I mean, I think it's a case by case basis.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We'll see, but I'm sure we'll be seeing more brands recycling old campaigns. I hate to put it that way, but yeah. Moving right along. Our good friend Rihanna made a huge announcement. No, it was not music. Because she don't do that anymore. She's retired. But right. Fenty Hair was announced, and we have somebody else jumping into the celebrity hair care realm. So how are we feeling about that?
This has really sucked the life out of me because I I'm tired. I'm disappointed.
Same.
You're
disappointed.
I am. I'm disappointed. I did not need this from Rihanna or Fenty. And I like Fenty and all that Fenty is doing or has been doing under LVMH. But I'm also afraid that the product line is becoming too commercialized in the sense of it just feels like product. The makeup line is like, I don't even know how many products it is at this point. Which I'm not saying that's an issue, but I'm like, is it still about solving something, or is it now turning more into all about the top line and like selling and the numbers? And it feels like it's just like, what can we do next? What else can we develop or put out? And then the other point that I have is, it ain't been 6 months since Sacred has hit the market. Now, I understand that this probably has been in product development for quite some time. Timing just sometimes works out in this way. So I just feel like there needed to be more done on that side to figure out like the timing, when, how. It just doesn't feel like it makes sense. And I haven't investigated much into the brand, but also I'm not seeing online. Ain't nobody asked Rihanna to see her hair. Well, yeah, they are. But you know that rhetoric we got for Beyonce? I don't feel like it was the same for Rihanna. It's like, okay, Fenty Hair. And in this campaign, ain't that a wig? I guess maybe the products are for wigs too. And maybe that's what she's selling for the girls.
I mean, there were definitely a lot of wigs in the announcement. Then she put out another post that showed her getting her pixie cut wash. So then it was like, okay, well, maybe this wasn't a wig. I mean, I think to your point, I'm tired, but I'm not tired because it's Rihanna. I'm just tired in general about celebrity hair care lines, like all of them. Honestly, we need to hit pause for a second. There's got to be something else. There has to be.
What say you?
I mean, I kind of have like the same opinion about, well, the first thing I'm going to say, because it's always Beyonce all day over here. The first thing I'm going to say is, yeah, like it is kind of irritating how people will always like just hold Beyonce to like this thing of like, if she's releasing anything, it has to have a whole like amendment with like supporting, backing, facts, XYZ, whereas other celebrities who may be seen more as like product people or like fashion people who do things outside of what we, relatable people who do things outside of what we may know them initially for, it's like, oh yeah, like it's cool because, you know, they seem like they're my friend. Like, so.
Well, who said? Are you talking about Rihanna? Like,
well, I'm just talking about in general. I was just talking about like in general, and I agree with Broncy. Like, I don't think that we needed this from Rihanna. I think that she's doing amazing in the beauty space, and I love that Fenty Beauty continues to like expand the amount of products. Like, expand as huge as you can be. But yeah, I don't think that we needed this, and I am exhausted as well. So I share in all of you all's sentiment.
I mean, I think that's
the sentiment.
But
yeah, the sentiment that I've been seeing though is like most people that I've seen online were like, yeah, we didn't ask for, like, no one was asking for a Fenty hair care line, you know?
Yeah.
And the video, like where she's speaking about like why Fenty hair, is also like, no shade because obviously, duh, we love Rihanna, but it's like, this sounds so just like, oh, I have to say this because I'm releasing a hair care line. And without saying this, it's like, well, then why the hell is she releasing a hair care line? So, you know, hair has always been a part of my journey and how I like express myself and blah, 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 blah. It's like, we know that.
Yeah, you and everybody else. Got hair on their head.
Right. So, yeah, that just felt like performative, to use your word, Janelle.
That's my word? Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, well, Good luck to her, but I probably won't be buying and trying that. I kind of maxed out on my hair care budget.
Yeah.
Oh, Janelle, before we segue into the next segment, I have something to share with you. So,
okay.
I actually got you a gift, and I want to show you on camera the gift.
Okay, I'm excited.
Well, unfortunately, we aren't like filming this episode, but
like you'll hear the audible reaction.
You're right. But at least y'all get to see hear, yeah, what is happening. Like excited. I had to think about my friend when I went out and purchased these.
You did not get those for me.
Yes, I did. And I'm going to send them to you tomorrow. And I'm so excited for you to wear them in the office and, you know, really just be
Roncie,
like...
you shouldn't have.
Yes, girl, I had to. I was not going to be the only one walking around.
Those would be a good house slipper. For those, I mean, obviously he mentioned
Tell the people
we're not
what you
filming
got.
this episode. It looks like a pair of the Yeezy sock Flintstone feet joints.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, because I'll never forget that time that I saw you with Yeezys on. I just knew you. I knew you were a fan of at least his products, if not.
Was that before or after I saw you with Yeezys on?
See, I mean, you're influential, and that's one of the qualities that I appreciate about you so much.
I can't be that influential because I didn't influence you to stop. That's crazy.
Yes.
Wow.
So you're very welcome.
Gotta, shout out to your real friend.
Yes, right. Do you see what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
That's wild.
That's crazy. Gifting me some Yeezys. Yeezy. What are those things called? What are they even called again?
They are the socks. Right?
They're just called Yeezy socks?
Let me see.
And wear them in the office. Why? So I could lose my job?
Oh, yeah. Pod shoe. It's a pod shoe.
Pod shoe.
Oh, yeah.
What else did you get from it? So you finally got your order.
Oh, my God. I forgot I ordered them. It was like 5 months ago, it feels like. And then I was like, oh, something in the mail. So yeah, finally got them. I didn't order anything else. That was it.
Oh, really? I thought you were trying to start flipping Yeezy pods. I thought you were trying to
I did buy like 6 pair.
That's what I'm asking you. So you got 6 pair.
Yeah.
Amadi, you got a pair too?
I plead the fifth.
Oh, okay. So that's a yes.
Well, not by his own will either. So I'm like, if I'm buying these, everybody is going to have a pair. You get a pair. You get a pair. You get a pair.
So if I'm going to look crazy in these streets, everybody going to look crazy in these streets.
Exactly.
Got it.
Period.
Well, thank you. Thank you for thinking of me, friend.
Of course. Glad to be of service.
Well, since we're staying in the family, I guess, a little bit. The new Skims campaign dropped. I feel like every week it's a new Skims campaign.
Oh my God. Do they ever take a break?
No. I mean, y'all gonna get this
everyone's wearing Skims.
These essentials. But
all right. Now, have you tried Skims yet? Because it sounds like you're all on board for Skims.
No, I never said I was all on board. I do own Skims products.
So she's all on board. There we go.
It's I have Skims. I don't know.
Okay. What's the product quality? Is it good? Like, do you feel good about the brand?
For like an everyday,
quality?
basic type. Yeah, it's pretty good quality for sure.
Got you.
Yeah. And I think that's how they got me.
Okay.
Just like, you can't really argue with the product.
Yeah.
And then also, full disclosure, Whiten and Kennedy worked on that Super Bowl. I think it was a Super Bowl spot.
Yeah.
Did we talk? I think we talked about that. Yeah. But the new face of the latest Skims campaign is Jhené Aiko, who we haven't really seen in a minute. It was good to see her face.
We haven't.
Yeah, she had that baby. She started making lullabies, and
Okay.
I haven't seen her since.
She went in hiding.
She's a mother.
She's a mother. But yeah, I don't know what the product. I don't know if it's like a new product or doesn't look like it. It just looks like
brand. Period.
Yeah.
Brand ambassador, I guess. I like the strategy from Skims though. Like, I really feel like how they're tugging on different pockets of the culture. Tugging on the culture to like push and drive the brand forward. I do think that feels right, especially now after seeing it continue. And I think there's obviously upside to them continuing to drop different campaigns or different faces so frequently, because it just keeps like, oh, they tagged this person. Oh, they tagged this person. And it's like beautiful photos, beautiful images. You know, they have the tones, they have the feel. So the branding, the presence, who they're tapping, I feel like it all is making sense. And I feel like they're probably seeing the upside on the balance sheet too.
Yeah.
Or at least that's the hope.
Sure.
If they didn't, it didn't.
No, I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they are.
So maybe next time they run a sale or something, I might have a gift of my own.
I'm not buying you no diamond. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to cop that one for yourself.
I am weak. Straight up, I'm not buying you no.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you straight up.
Yeah, if she drops some little sock shoes or whatever,
Okay.
I might grab you a pair.
Oh my God.
But moving right along, 2 album covers dropped this past week and had the internet in a bit of a frenzy, for better or worse. Megan Thee Stallion is dropping her album this summer called Megan.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ice Spice is dropping her album. I think it was supposed to be end of June and she pushed it, or I don't know. Maybe she just announced that it was going to be in like July or something like that. Called Y2K. Both album covers dropped and they were both shot by David LaChapelle, icon in the photography space. But those 2 original album covers were doo-doo.
You don't like them?
I don't like
Did they
them,
change them?
either one of them at all. I think Megan has she dropped like an all album cover today, this morning. Still not great, but this first one that she dropped, her coming out of a cocoon, it looked like she's in like the lobby of I don't even know. It's like an AI generated mall lobby situation. And she's coming out of a cocoon that's on a tree in a pot.
And she's upside down. And the M is like glowing in the lobby.
It's not good.
With the tree in the middle.
And just thematically, everything up until this point has been all snake themed. So I don't know how we got to butterflies. But
maybe she's shaking off the snakes and evolving into a butterfly. Like, she's
because that's what snakes do. Snakes evolve into butterflies.
She's and in the videos that she's had so far, she's like shed skin and stuff. Oh, I heard the shade. I heard the shade.
Oh my God.
But like, she's been like shedding skin in like the recent videos and stuff that she's been releasing. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe she was like, I'm not gonna do the snake and the egg theme, but still keep it animalistic and like evolve in a different way. But to your point of her posting something this morning, I saw it and it is her coming out of a damn egg again. And like, we had that for the music video and I loved it. I felt like it was so effective then, where it's like, I don't want that to be her album cover. I didn't necessarily have an issue with the photograph that David LaChapelle took. Like, I think it is super like abstract and like does like make you have conversation like a lot of his work does. So maybe it's just like every little thing in the photo has some kind of meaning that we just don't know. But
well, they're gonna have to break it down. And my thing is like, okay, sure, art is supposed to spark conversation, but is the conversation supposed to be, is this good or not? If that's the only conversation that your art is sparking, that may be a problem. And that just in the context of this, like if we want to talk about the themes in this and have those kind of conversations, that's one thing. But this, I think it's objectively not good. Like,
I have a question.
Yeah.
When you think about David LaChapelle and like his art that you know of, do you generally like his art? Are you generally like, Like well, you can appreciate it, but not really be like, oh, I it's for me. So like, where would you stand in terms of artist appreciation, like for yourself?
I would say like I generally like his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like
the only
most
reason
of the
I
stuff
asked that
that
question,
I've seen, I've liked.
The only reason I asked that question is because the tweet that you sent me was like, get ready to see a whole bunch of ... not great album covers shot by this man. And I'm like, while these might not have been the greatest creations that I feel like may have seen from him, I don't feel like his catalog is not great. So I felt like that was like an overshoot.
No. That tweet that I sent you was just because that was the only tweet I could find that had both of the album artwork in it. It wasn't because I agreed with the sentiment of the tweet itself.
Now, Ice Spice.
So no.
I don't like. I feel like
I guess it's on brand for her. It's orange hair. It's ass. It's the Bronx. It's like New York. It's like New York City. But it is.
But what does that have to do? Okay, her album is called Y2K. What about this is giving Y2K? Why is Y2K spray painted? The album's name is spray painted on a literal trash can. Like,
the fashion's Y2K, maybe? I mean, I don't know.
I just don't get it. It's not good. The graffiti is over her body. Like, is that supposed to be graffiti on the wall? Then why is it overlapping on her body?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, she's Ice Spice. We don't need that front and center covering the image. If anything, Y2K should be present graffitied on the wall.
Right.
Yeah, this
not
one.
Not a fan of either of these.
Out of the two.
The glowing M, like what? This looks like. Sorry. I'm back to Megan.
Oh, you've decided?
You said what?
Yeah. I was just saying I don't like Megan's either. I said I've decided. Because I was talking about it earlier with the Mahdi, and I was like, I don't know. But now after sitting here and actually sitting with it, I don't like it.
Yeah. Girls need better creative direction. I don't know.
Girls need better creative direction. There's a famine in the land.
There's a famine.
They better call, I ain't gonna say.
Last thing on our list is a new campaign for Pride Month from Calvin Klein featuring Jeremy Pope. Would you like to walk us through what we're seeing here in this campaign? No?
Jeremy Pope is having a moment right now. I love when things like align and come together. Well, it probably is also just timing. So he just released or is about to release an EP. So he's been putting out these visuals, which are really good. And they're incredible. And I think I may be misspeaking. But anyway, with the EP, he's like self-produced, self-arranged, and things like that. I haven't heard the music yet, outside of, I think, one of the music videos. But did he direct the spots? Do you know? I think he also directed them. But anyway, they're stunning. They're incredible. Have you seen them?
But I'm having like a bit of deja vu. Did we not talk about something else he was in fairly recently? Or not fairly recently, maybe like last year, Pride? And it was like around when he was supposed to be dropping music and stuff. I feel like we've had this exact conversation before.
Have we? Orbits and Jeremy Pope and India Moore.
Maybe.
Remember that?
I vaguely remember that. Anyway, sorry to derail you.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Yeah, that's the only thing I remember talking about him about. And maybe that Netflix show he was in. So yeah, he's on a campaign driving like his music and his personal art forward. And then he was also tapped to be the face of the Calvin Klein Pride campaign. That's all I have to say. Nice images, nice video, colors, across the Calvin Klein logo on your drawers and
of course,
t-shirt ribs and stuff like that. Yeah, anything?
I thought it was good. I liked it. I like that the campaign in general, the video spot I thought was beautiful. And I thought the images of Jeremy Pope are great. And I like that they tapped him like at this time. I think that he is putting out a lot of his own artistry that's just like showing who he is and like will open up a lot more opportunities like this for him. And I think that he's a great like face of a brand. Like I would like to have him as a representation of a brand. He just is like a very well put together like gentleman type, but also like has appeal and mystique and all of the things that like make longevity artists.
I like that take. And I think that's like the qualities that brands look for when they decide on who to be spokespersons.
Did he play like Basquiat in something? Am I making that up? Like in my head, I have like an image of.
He did. He was playing Basquiat.
Yeah.
In that James Warhol and Basquiat.
It was, it ran in the West End, I think, in the UK. And it was supposed to come to New York, but I lost track of all of that. I was tracking it at some point. And yeah, he was playing Basquiat. It was like about the relationship between Basquiat and Andy Warhol. And during that time, yeah, last year.
Interesting. Well, so he's dropping new music. What has he been in other than this play recently? I was gonna say that was a really long time ago.
Yeah, he was in that film with Gabrielle Union like last year, which is called The Inspection.
Never heard of her.
That came out in actually that came out in 2022. But yeah, but he's been doing his own like photography, like directing his own photography. He released like a series about like, gender and sexuality with Simone from RuPaul's Drag Race. Like, so he's just been like creating and like producing his own stuff, which is like amazing because it's top tier. Like the level, the quality is so good. The storytelling is so good. So yeah, I think he's definitely going to be like somebody who evolves into like a creator of stuff for real. A producer and executive producer, etc.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. All right. Let's move into Guess That Spokesperson. Amadi.
Uh-oh. Let's do it.
Should we do it? All right. So the brand is Doritos. And here are your clues. She has released 6 studio albums and is a multiple Grammy Award winner. She is in the Songwriters Hall of Fame, and her artistry spans decades.
Six studio albums, multiple Grammy winner, and her career spans decades. What the hell?
Wasn't there a middle? There was another hint. No?
Songwriters Hall of Fame?
Oh, she's in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Is she from New York?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes. Well, wait a minute, Janelle.
Oh my gosh. Is she also an actress?
No, you wouldn't label her as an actress.
Okay, one more yes or no
Has
question.
she acted? Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, one more.
Songwriters Hall of Fame.
She
Has she won a Grammy in the last 5 years? I'm so mad right now because I'm gonna scream when you say it. I know I am. Oh my gosh.
stress. Listen, there's no money on the line, okay?
Is it I don't know.
Take a guess.
I don't know.
You gotta say somebody's name.
Is it Mary J. Blige?
Missy Elliott.
Oh my God. I knew that. Oh.
Yes, Missy Elliott for Doritos.
See, I was thinking about that Songwriters Hall of Fame. And I'm like, there's not that many women in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. And damn.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like it wasn't too much more I could give you without giving it just away.
Yeah, because honestly, like, Janelle, I mean, just in this round, I feel you. Like, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, I was just saying because I was like, Alicia Keys has won a lot of Grammys, but then I was like, okay, maybe she's
from New York, though.
Songwriters Hall of Fame. But she's from New York. And then I thought about Mariah Carey, and she's from New York, and you said that she's not. So, yeah.
So, right. So the more narrow the clues are, should be the better. Where it's like there's only but so many people that are women that are in the Songwriter Hall of Fame that I know that's not from New York.
You could have said she's from Virginia.
Okay, and that would have gave it away.
Who else would it have been?
That's the one person you know from Virginia. Yeah. But thank you for indulging us. All right. So now is the time where we we select Go On With Your Black Ads or That Ain't It. Janelle, who do you have this week?
Okay. Going with your black ads, I'm going to give that to Adidas and Anthony Edwards for this recent receipts drop. That Ain't It. I'm giving it to David LaChapelle for those 2 album covers.
Ooh, wow.
Is that
Amadi, who you at? Yeah.
Why? They weren't good. It's literally the only thing on this list that I explicitly said was not good.
Okay. For Gone With Your Black Ads, I'm gonna give that to Jeremy Pope and Calvin Klein. Gone With Your Black Ass in that.
That's not. It's not the name of the podcast, but okay.
That's not the name of it.
No, going with your Black Ads. Yeah. And then I'm going to give That Ain't It to Fenty Hair. Because that ain't it.
That ain't it. Rihanna, you be hitting. You do hit. You hit. Now, one thing you can do is hit.
Make a hit.
You can make a hit. Wear a hit. And your face is a hit. But baby, this Fenty Hair ain't it. So I'm going to agree with that. Fenty Hair is That Ain't It for me. And then I'm going to give Going With Your Black Ads to Adidas as well, because I think you have to make these bold moves and statements and take risk. And I love seeing brands do that. And that's what I think good marketing and advertising is about. So yeah, Adidas, thanks for making us stand up.
Well, y'all ain't gonna leave me out. I'm gonna give an honorable mention to Adidas
too. No. I mean, Jeremy Pope is a good one as well.
That's a good choice.
And it's Pride Month. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
All right. So that wraps up this episode of Witcha Black Ads. As always, thank you so much for listening, for subscribing, and for rocking with us. Please share the podcast with your group chat. Check out the website, witchablackads.com, and like and follow on both YouTube and Instagram. Till next time, see y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
That's what I'm talking about. It was so black ass. It was black ass.